Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. How is everyone doing today? I decided to try something new at the beginning of each video, and that is a word of the day. So as today is my first time doing word of the day, it's only appropriate that our first word of the day is pinnacle. Pinnacle means the height of something, the point at which success is achieved, the point at which it's its best, the most successful point. She had reached the pinnacle of her career when she decided to retire. Now, for our actual video today, I am going to be explaining conditionals. I'm going to try and make this as simplified as possible because conditionals are a difficult concept to grasp, and it can be very difficult for English learners because there's only slight differences between the conditionals. So the first thing to know, I nearly forgot my coffee. So the first thing to know is that conditionals mean there is a condition clause in the sentence, which means if the first part of the sentence doesn't happen, the second part of the sentence cannot happen. In other words, if one half of the sentence doesn't exist or isn't true or doesn't come true, the other part of the sentence cannot exist or cannot come true. So the easiest one is the zero conditional. Think of this as facts or 100% true that this is going to happen. So if water is heated at 100 degrees, it boils. If you touch a fire, you get burned. If babies are hungry, they cry. If dogs are pregnant, they have puppies. It's a fact. If the first half happens, the second half is definitely going to happen. It's the result of the first half of the sentence. So when constructing a zero conditional, the entire sentence is in the present simple. So have a look. We do if plus present simple, typically a comma and present simple. So if this happens, then this happens. If this doesn't happen, then this doesn't happen. If I don't make content, I don't have anything to post on YouTube. Again, very likely 100% that the second part cannot happen if the first part does not happen. Now moving on to the first conditional. This is also quite simple to understand. The first conditional is something present but with future consequences. So for example, if it rains, I will not go for a run. If I don't finish my homework, I won't go out tonight. If I have enough money, I will buy a new laptop. If my friend calls, I will be busy at 7 p.m. So whereas the zero conditional is something that is sure, it will definitely happen if this happens. The first conditional is unsure and relies on the first part of the sentence happening. So if it rains, I will go for a run. The understanding is if it does not rain, I will not go for a run. So it's not 100%. We structure the first conditional by the present simple first, followed by future simple. If this does not happen now or in the next few hours, then this future thing that I want to do or plan to do cannot happen. If I do not finish this video, I will be late for my next student. So that is the zero and first conditional. Where it gets confusing is when the likeliness of something happening also affects the sentence. So far, we have discussed 100% likely going to happen, unsure if it is likely to happen, and now we are looking at situations where it is very unlikely or in some cases impossible. So this brings us to the second conditional. The second conditional is used to talk about something in the present or future that will affect something in the future. However, it is highly unlikely or impossible. So for example, if I won the lottery, I would move to Barbados. If I met my favorite celebrity, I would faint. If I were rich, I would travel all over the world. These are not impossible, but the understanding is they are unlikely. We are talking about a future effect affecting a future outcome. So try and construct a sentence yourself. If you won the lottery, what would you do? Let me know in the comments. If you won the lottery, what would you do? Construct a second conditional sentence yourself. If I won the lottery, I would ... We also use the second conditional to talk about something that is impossible, but it is in the present. So, for example, if I were you, I would go to the dance. Again, future outcome, but we're talking about the present. If I were you, however, this is impossible. I cannot be you. I cannot trade places with you. Or if I were you, I would not take the job position. Future outcome, but present. We're talking about the present, but impossible for me to be you. Or what about, if I had the number, I would call. I do not have the number. That is the understanding. I do not have the number, so the situation is impossible. If I knew where he lived, I would go. The understanding is I do not know where he lives, so it is impossible for me to go there. We create the second conditional by using the past simple, would, and then the infinitive. So if I knew where he lived, past simple, I would, and the infinitive, go there. If I won the lottery, I would. If I won the lottery, past simple, I would buy a big house. So lastly, onto the third conditional. Now, with the third conditional, we are referring to everything as in the past. We are talking about something that did or did not happen in the past, and therefore the result did or did not happen in the past. For example, if I had studied harder, I would have got into my favorite university. The understanding is because the entire sentence is in the past, I did not study hard, so therefore I did not get into my favorite university. Look at these other examples. If she hadn't missed the bus, she wouldn't have been late. The understanding is she was late because she missed the bus. The entire thing happened in the past. We cannot change it. It's already happened. It's already over. If we had taken a taxi, we would have arrived earlier. Again, the understanding is we did not take a taxi in the past, so we didn't arrive earlier in the past. Two more for you. If I had followed in my father's footsteps, I would have become an architect. He would have been on time if he had left the house 20 minutes earlier. So all of these situations are in the past and the result is in the past. They affected something that was in the past. We create the third conditional by using the past participle first, using would have, and ending with the past participle. Now, just in case it's not clear enough, and you may be wondering how the second and third conditional are different, the second conditional talks about a future condition that would affect a future situation. So none of it has happened yet. However, the third conditional, everything is in the past. The reason and the outcome all ended in the past. We cannot change the third conditional. For example, second conditional, if I had more time, I would go to the beach in the morning. I do or I will not, past simple sentence, but with a future understanding. So I do not have enough time. I know I do not have enough time. But if I did, I would go to the beach. Whereas third conditional, if I had had more time when I was younger, I would have gone to the beach more often. If I had had past tense, I would have past tense. So we cannot change the third conditional. We possibly could change the second conditional, but the understanding is it's unlikely. The zero conditional and the third conditional we cannot change. The zero conditional is because it's fact. It always happens 100% of the time. And the third conditional is because it's all happened in the past. The first and the second conditional possibly could change. First conditional could change, likely. It's likely it could change, maybe not. The second conditional, it's very unlikely. And that's it. You may want to watch this video a couple of times to check your understanding, but this is as simple as I can make it without losing the entire meaning or usage. Test yourself in the comments. Can you tell me something that happened in the past that affected something else that happened in the past? So third conditional. Is there something you wish you had done? Do you regret anything? Do you wish you had taken an opportunity? Don't forget this will be the third conditional, so construct it as so. I will leave a fantastic exercise in the comments as well that I like to use with my students as it really tests your understanding of conditionals. Have a fantastic week and I will see you next time. Goodbye.